Hey guys, SentinalhMC back again for more Space Engineers. So, we're back where we left off. We're now in the business of finishing this arc furnace, and now we're going to tear this whole thing down here. The first thing I want to do is I want to place a cargo container, not the large one, the small one. That's the one. Now, it's interesting to note that this small cargo container on a large ship or a station can actually store a lot of stuff. But if I was to place that on a small ship, it would store next to nothing. So yeah, the differences in storage volume are there as well for these sort of things. So we're going to place that there. It's now connected into the conveyor system. I'm not so sure if when the assembler is finished it'll shove things into here, but because it's connected to the rest of these machines, I'm pretty sure that I know that I can open any of these machines and access contents of that storage crate. But I can't finish the storage crate because some of the components of that other crate, for some reason, didn't let me pick them up, even though I totally had enough space for it. Okay, there were some tubes, but I'm never going to get those. They've probably... Oh, no, there they are. Sweet. A benefit of having gravity in this cavern right now is that all these sort of things that were floating have now fallen. And my friend, Don't Die Hard, he plays a lot of Magic of Wizard Wars. You see that in the top left? He's got a Twitch stream. If you want to go troll him. I need 2 motors. Okay, so there were some motors that come out of that too that I don't know where those went to, but I can harvest motors from one of these things, and I don't really need to build a connector on my little. I'm too full up on stuff though. I'm too full up on stuff, but I don't have a cargo container to put that stuff in. We'll put some stuff on the arc furnace. It didn't free up enough space. I can put things in the inventory of the assembler. And I can go to the refinery and put this iron ore in. Okay, so that worked. Now we will finish cutting down this connector. We'll at least get the motors. Okay, so we've got everything that's important off of that. We will finish this small cargo container. Sweet. It's upside down too.
Meteor storm inbound.
I don't know why it's upside down by default there, but I didn't notice. It doesn't matter for those things anyway. Take all this stuff out of their assembler, and I'm going to put it into the cargo container. Technically, I didn't need to do that. I could transfer the things directly from the assembler's inventory into the container's inventory. So we see here, there's the assembler. I can click on this button here to hide empty, but there's the cargo container down there. Here's the assembler here. If I drag this down here, now it's in there. I can only do that because this crate and the assembler have 2 of their doors touching each other. That's the only reason I can do that. So if you're playing this, you got to make sure that... Does that thing move? Oh, holy cow, this is... Oh no. This thing, it moved. It came down and it landed on my base. That's actually really funny. I find that pretty funny. I know why that happened. It's because I bumped it, and even though it's a large ship, it's not that large of a ship. So even though my player does not have a whole lot of mass, neither does this ship anymore. So but still comparatively, because there's gravity here, the gravity doesn't affect it, because it's in space and there's no atmosphere or anything. Even the small amount of velocity that my impacting it with my jetpack person was able to impart, that velocity was maintained. That force was transferred into the ship, and it started slowly drifting down. So yeah, the physics system in this game is really nice. It's really good. It's definitely one of the most accurate. It's one of the best physics systems that I've seen. Everything behaves pretty darn well. There are some problems with it still, but the developers know that, and they've been working on fixing it for like a very long time now. I need to... And see what happened there? That was apparently the only block holding this on, so it just separated and became its own grid. So this is a grid now, and this is these couple blocks are a grid, and that thing is free floating now. Okay, let's go. Get some energy. Our energy dipped below 20%. Don't want to let it get in the red there. Oh, I'm getting a message. I'll talk to him in a bit. That was Trent. We're talking again. Let me just let him know what I'm doing. Hey, I'm recording Space Engineers. I'll talk to you when it's done. I'll talk to you in 15 minutes. That's when this one will be done. Okay. So now we gotta take apart this entire thing. He didn't have to reply back to me. I have to hit tab again. That's I should rebind that button because that's bound to tab. Every time I go into the Steam overlay, it gets rid of my HUD in the game. I have to put it back on. Not that it's that big of a deal. I don't tend to open the Steam overlay too much while I'm playing. Okay. So that's not going to be enough inventory space. So we will go down to our crate. Now, as you can see, there's quite a lot of building materials in this ship here. And like I said, the only reason that I have to take this apart is because I turned on the option that causes rescue ships to disappear if you spawn a new one. But what I forgot about that was that it also causes it to disappear if you leave the server. So, like I said, my single-player game is considered a server for the purposes. Oh yeah, and if you hit when you shift click, it will only send 100 maximum. I don't know if control click sends all of it. There is or if you just hit the click and drag. But shift click will send instantly move up to 100. He's playing Payday 2. I don't have Payday 2. It looks like a good game though. I really like Payday 1. These thruster components, by the way, these are also really annoying because they require platinum. And platinum, yeah, that's not what I want. This is what I want. Platinum's hard to get. It takes a while to refine. It takes quite a while to refine. But the thruster components also require cobalt. So once again, it's the same components that the gravity generator requires, and they both take a long time to process in the refinery. So they're very annoying. Take that off. This steel catwalk you see wasn't finished. It was just on there as a little decorative thing, and I really like that about the game. Because you only need to use one piece of resource to place down the wireframe, the scaffolding for a block. You can use them as you can even use expensive blocks as decorative pieces. So that little catwalk block was placed there as a little decoration. So there's a ton of ways that you can decorate your ships and your stations and stuff. This game is great. I really like it. Patches for this game come out every week. I think it's Thursday? Yeah. Every Thursday they come out with a patch, and people call it Patchmas on the forums. And I've never been disappointed with a patch for this game. Some people have, but I think those people expect too much per patch. There's only so much you can expect the developer to be able to release in one patch. Recently they released a programmable block. So, okay, these conveyors are now separate from the rest of the ship. So, if you've always wanted to be able to write a computer program, to write a script in C# and have it, I think it's C#, and have it actually work in a game, then maybe you'll want to take a look at Space Engineers, because you can now do that. I don't know C#, but I will definitely show you the programmable block at some point in the series, because you can also download people's scripts from the Steam Workshop and add them into your game. So I will definitely do that. Let's see. What does this need to finish? Computer. One computer. And and we have 28 computers. If you hold right click and drag it over, then you can just, you can do that amount to add and tell it how much you want to take. So we got our arc furnace now. It is not upside down. So we've got our refinery, an arc furnace, an assembler. We've got all the basics. We've got everything that we absolutely need. So now grinding this thing down the rest of the way is the next step. Yeah. Because I want to get all those resources. I want to get all those stored in here because I want to use these resources to build something else. The first thing that I want to build, actually, is I want to build some sort of a drilling contraption to drill this iron, and I think I know what I'm going to do for that. I want to build a rotary drill that will drill this. I think that would be a really fun project. What's this? Oh hey, it's iron ingots. They must have fallen out of the refinery when I ground it down. World saved. Actually, I shouldn't put those there. I should put them into the assembler. I'll put them in the refinery. These machines do have a maximum internal storage for items. That's why you really shouldn't use your assembler or your refinery for storing things. I don't think you can put anything but ores into the refinery. I don't think you can put anything but components into the assembler. But if one of those, if the inventory fills up, it won't be able to do any more work, which is not what you want. So the next thing I want to do is I do actually want to grind this cockpit off, this flight seat. And I do actually want to build a cockpit. No, I don't need to build a cockpit on my station. But I'm gonna. The reason I'm gonna build a cockpit on my station down here is because it'll let me see things like how much, like the amount of time that my fuel will hold out. You can't see that on here. And now here's another thing. Here's the info button. Here's the convert to ship button. You can take any station, click that button, and it'll convert it into a large ship. And the reason that works is because these stations and ships both use the same type of blocks. I could take this ship here and I could have converted it straight into a station, but I was afraid that it would still count as the respawn ship and it would still disappear. So it's just easier for me just to grind it all off and rebuild it. This game also has a factions system, which we aren't going to use, and you can show these various things over here, like the range of the gravity generator. So if I do that, I think I need to have an antenna on this in order for that to actually show up. Yeah, I think that's a thing. Yeah, we're going to change the name of this platform, and we are going to call it Starter Base. Not that it matters what it's actually called. But I want to put that flight seat on. I don't have any steel plates. I do have plenty of steel plates in my system. I realized I just realized I didn't have to go all the way over here to do that, but I did it anyway for some reason. Sometimes I forget that I can just access my items from any of these doors here. Now that's only if they're connected. If they weren't connected together or like that, I wouldn't be able to do that. And you may not want to connect all of your inventories in your entire ship together. I don't really need a flight seat. I would want a control station. But I don't have enough displays, so I'm going to build the flight seat. It's going to be fine. They both work for the same thing. It's just that the control station does not have first-person view, and the flight seat does. So if you want to build a ship, and you're going to use that you can look out of like a cockpit, you're going to use the flight seat. But if you're on a station or something, control stations really make more sense. They've got big displays in front of them, so it actually makes sense.
Meteor storm inbound.
But I just want to be able to see fuel time 14 hours. That's fine. So that's actually real time, by the way. When that says 14 hours, it means that with what's happening right now on my station, which is basically just running the gravity generator right now, I've got enough fuel on that reactor to last for 14 real-time hours of continuous play. That's important for if you're on a multiplayer server, because if you don't want your power to run out while you're offline. you got to make sure you'll have enough power in there. Although, I'm pretty sure the game uses a system where, like kind of like Minecraft, where it doesn't actually load an area if there's nobody there. But I'm not sure how that affects the... but of course, somebody could just fly past your place or set up in the same area. Suddenly, your stuff is running and using your fuel, and you don't have enough. And the reason that you would leave your stuff running is because of your medical bay. You cannot respawn in a medical bay that does not have power. So, I believe. I'm pretty sure. So, if you don't have some sort of infinite power, like a powered solar panel, then you have to do it that way. You gotta make sure you have power in your medical bay. But, you know, if you were on a multiplayer server and you had your ship built and it had a medical bay and you had your refinery and whatever, your assembler, basically if you had a ship like this that had all those things that you need, all these things, and you hit it out in the middle of nowhere in the in the universe, you would turn everything off except your medical bay, and then you really wouldn't need very much fuel at all to last, because the medical bay does not use a lot of power just sitting there idle. And as you could see, power is just transmitted between throughout the entire grid. So there's no power cables or wires or anything. It's just, since this is all on one grid, it all gets power from whatever generators are on the grid. And the only thing that you need to do in order to add something else to the grid is, like if there was two grids if you had two grids that weren't connected, you could use merge blocks and connect them together. And once two grids have become one, they share power. I can pick those up because gravity is a nice thing, guys. Gravity is a very nice thing. And you got to be careful with that. When you've got gravity and you are grinding things off that have components in them, the components can actually, when they fall, can actually deal damage to blocks underneath them. So you do want to watch out for that. There's a mining hauler over there. I believe the mining hauler does in fact have guns on it, because I think the mining hauler is the one is a very, very large ship. So it has guns. Although I think the mining carriage basically is just a bunch of cargo containers with engines on it. But I think it didn't used to have guns, or it only has one gun, but I think now it has more. Basically, the devs wanted those passing ships to be like a risk-reward sort of thing, where in order to get them, you had to risk getting killed. Alright, well, we've got a good amount of materials. I should be able to build at least the beginnings of a sort of an automated drill. So what I want to do is I want to build. I need steel plates. I'll put them all away. I want to grab some steel plates. I don't need that many steel plates, but just grab some steel plates. And we're going to build over here with steel plates, because with armor blocks, because that's what I have the resources to do it with. Alright. Go over there. And we'll go over one more block. And then what I want to do is I want to build a rotor. And we're going to see how this works. Rotors and stuff, they're not the most stable things in the world of space engineers. It's actually too low. But what I can do... Oh yeah, those come in two bits. Is grind this off, and you can actually place the rotors against the side of it like that. And that should be enough space. So what I want to do is I want to put that there, and then I want to put... well, ideally, what we would do, if I grind that off, is we would not build a rotor, we would build the advanced rotor, which is down That's rotor part. Ah, you can build that separately now. I don't know that. The advanced rotor, because the advanced rotor is also a... Oh. What I was going to say is that the advanced rotor is also a conveyor. But anyway, we're going to get to this in the next episode, so it's probably okay. Between episodes, I will probably grind the rest of this ship off, just because you don't need to watch me do that, because all it'll be is me grinding the ship, putting the components away, and then using them to build this thing. So I'll probably finish doing that off camera, and then we'll get back to it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Stay tuned for the next episode where we'll build our little drill, our experiment. I've never done one of these before, so we're going to see how it works. I hope you're enjoying Space Engineers. I'm Sentinal H, and I'm signing out.